Welcome today on Commodities Market. I am Precious Destiny. The federal government is planning to buy 10,000 tractors from Brazil to boost agriculture in the country. The government also said it would establish model grazing reserves in selected states of the country next year. The latest development came months after Nigerians in some sections of the country had expressed opposition to similar ideas. Earlier, the federal government had mulled the idea of establishing a rural grazing reserves, National Life Transformation Program, and other similar programs aimed at putting an end to incessant clashes between farmers and herders. Now, according to the Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Mohammed Abubakar, while appearing before the House of Representatives Joint Committee on Agricultural Production and Services for the 2022 Budget Defense, disclosed that the government would establish model grazing reserves in some states next year. Abubakar said the ministry will establish model grazing reserves in selected states and establish conjunction, or rather special agro-industrial processing zones in conjunction with the African Development Bank in 7 states, including the FCT. He added that the ministry would also implement the Green Imperative project in collaboration with the Brazilian government that seeks to provide 10,000 units of tractors, 50,000 units of assorted implements and equipment to be assembled in the country. The minister, who was represented by the ministry's permanent secretary Ernest Umakaihe, noted that the key deliverable in the 2022 budget included rehabilitation and construction of water harvesting structures and mini earth dams in states to increase agricultural production in the country. In other stories, the World Bank says it costs more to move goods locally in Nigeria than in the United States of America, stating that the cost of moving goods per unit distance domestically in Nigeria is about 5.3 times higher than in the United States of America. This disclosure was contained in the Global Facility to Decarbonize Transport report newly published by the World Bank. According to the report, reducing the cost of moving goods through enhancing the effectiveness of transport networks and services is crucial to resuscitating global trade. Moving on, the Nigerian Customs Service has tightened security at the nation's borders with the deployment of more of its officers, especially to the gateway between Nigeria and Republic of Benin, as well as other places aimed at curtailing the activities of rice smugglers. The development came after the Director General Rice Producers Association of Nigeria and the Equelem said that over 566,000 metric tons of rice from Thailand and India had arrived Republic of Benin. Equelem explained that almost all the bags of rice shipped into Benin Republic were smuggled into Nigeria owing to large population of the country and the market size. The federal government had also confirmed that there was an increase in the smuggling of rice into Nigeria. As such, the government said it had convened a meeting involving the Nigerian Customs Service and other security agencies to re-strategize on how to address the ugly trend. Now, in the oil and gas sector, importers of liquefied petroleum gas, popularly called cooking gas, have stopped importing the commodity. Investigations also show that the cost of the product increased by 240% for 12.5 kilogram, jumping from 3,000 naira to 10,200 naira between January and October. About 65% of the LPG is imported into Nigeria, while domestic production accounts for 35%. Hence, the halt in imports could further shoot up cooking gas price if the situation is not addressed. The Executive Secretary, Nigerian Association of Liquefied Petroleum Gas Marketers, Basi Asian, said that the reintroduction of customs duty and value-added tax on imported LPG were the basic reasons for the halt in its import by importers. He stated that there were several other issues and stressed that if the halt in LPG imports should drag further, the supply of the commodity domestically could suffer severe drop. Nigeria's crude oil production dropped to 1.37 million barrels per day last month from 1.39 million barrels per day, a survey showed. The country's oil production in October was 261,000 barrels per day, below the quota given to it by the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries and its allies, according to the survey. According to reports, Nigeria's oil output continues to be restricted by operational setbacks, with key pipelines facing persistent sabotage. Now, the exchange rate between the Naira and the US dollar closed at 414.30 Naira per dollar at the official investors and exporters window. The Naira appreciated against the US dollar to close at 414.30 Naira per $1, representing a 0.2% gain compared to 415.10 Naira per dollar recorded at the close of trading activities. On the other hand, the Naira remained flat against the US dollar at the para market to close at 570 Naira per dollar, the same as recorded at the close of trading activities. Now, the commodity prices per ton this week includes old maize 195,000 to 200,000, new maize 165,000 to 170,000, cashew nut ranges from 510,000 to 530,000, locust bean 330,000 to 335,000, millet 160,000 to 165,000, rice paddy 228,000 to 300,000, shea butter 45,000 to 47,000 naira. Palm kernel nut ranges from 270,000 to 275,000. Soybean 330,000 to 335,000. Sesame seed 730,000 to 733,000. Cassava tuber 35,000 to 40,000. All the prices are reliant on the region. Now, agriculture has the potential to help Nigeria overcome its current problems and establish a stronger economy for the country. This is why Standard Organization of Nigeria, SON, in collaboration with Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, set up a workshop tagged Commodity Standards Sensitization Workshop to tackle the problem facing the agri sector. Stay tuned as we bring you the report.
Nigeria's major agricultural imports include wheat, sugar, fish, and milk, while the main agricultural exports include sesame seeds, cashew nuts, cocoa beans, ginger, frozen shrimp, and cotton. Now, report has it that over 76% of Nigeria's exported agricultural commodities are often rejected by the European Union for not meeting required standards, which is why the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, and the Standards Organization of Nigeria, SON, have said they will intensify collaboration on the commodities trading ecosystem with the hosting of a Commodity Standards Sensitization Workshop.
The mandate of the committee was to identify challenges of the existing framework and develop a roadmap for a vibrant ecosystem. The committee, in its report published in 2019, had identified development, upgrading, and standardization system in line with international best practice as a recommendation. It is globally recognized that a unique feature of the commodities exchange is the standardization of the commodities traded on its platform. Each commodity traded on an exchange is graded by quality, size, weight, and other criteria. However, the determination of these grades and standards is dependent upon approved local standards, which should take into cognizance internationally accepted standards.
I want to assure us that, knowing fully well that the government is talking about import substitution and export diversification, and knowing fully well that agricultural sector really play a very vital role. So there is a need for us for each and every one of us to contribute our part as we are here to review the status of standards that will allow us to be able to export our agri-produce.
The workshop is for processors, farmer groups, exporters, farmer cooperatives, merchants, and agri-extension officers. The partnership would help foster the development of a grading and standardization system in line with international best practices. SEC created a technical committee on the commodities trading ecosystem to identify the challenges of the existing framework and develop a roadmap for a vibrant ecosystem. One of the problems is lack of adequate storage facilities. As a result of this, some agricultural products develop molds before shipments. The goodwill messages by few of the speakers emphasized on the need for implementation of the solutions to the problems facing the commodity market. According to them, the move is appropriate and timely to make Nigeria agro-commodities competitive at the international markets.
Some of us may know that Europeans, if you don't know, they prefer to buy commodities from Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire. Why? Because they have better quality. So in organizing this, I'm very sure it's going to help us, it's going to bring us back to reckoning.
Internet. Before we get to the export side of it, where our produce most of the times are rejected, they are not taken because they say we don't have good standards. We can have that. We have quality food. We have all it takes to have the good food and the quality that everybody will want to buy, if only we have our hands together. And that is what this workshop is doing today.
Now, as the country's trade policy bank, we are mostly engaged in the provision of services to the export community, mainly the non-oil exporters. Now, so you see that all our activities are geared towards the export of Nigerian non-oil products and services. And that is why the importance of standards can never be overemphasized, because if anything happens to the exports that we have financed, either in the form of rejection due to low quality or low standard, the whole investment or the whole taxpayers' money that has been used to finance such transactions become wasted or lost.
So we discovered that there was no harmonization. So in 2012, we wrote to SOM, the former DG, listened to us, and then we set up a harmonization committee, an interministerial and interagency harmonization committee. Unfortunately, we reached a point in 2014 where we expected to host this workshop, but we couldn't move forward because that's why we really need to commence it. Nobody was willing to bail the cat. Many organizations felt they did not have enough budget to expose these standards across the country. But I think SEC has done the thing most of us couldn't do. They took the bull by the horn and they brought people together within a short time, even though they started in 2017. And I will still call it a short time because we looked at it in 2012, but we couldn't move forward because of this. And they have done this and brought people together and felt they should expose these standards for everybody to give their input.
This year alone, Nigeria has had over 47 alerts of rejected products. Over 31 of them are coming from a particular product, sesame seed. And this is very, very worrisome. Sesame seed is the highest earner of foreign exchange among the commodity products. We see the trend increasing, but it's worrisome that we're getting so much number of alerts of products that have been rejected. This all has to do with meeting standards and also ensuring that all the stakeholders, down from the farmers to the processors to the exporters, understand what these standards are, and then how also do we ensure that those primary producers know the standards, taught how to attain that standard before it moves up the value chain.
Three aspects of focus for me. The first one is about enforcement. The second one is about the specifications itself. The by way of compliance with global best practice. It's been mentioned earlier today that we've had 47 rejects. And for us to be able to access the global demand chain, we have to set the standards. One of the key issues for the commodities ecosystem is about standards. And standard does not have to do only with the commodities. Standard has to do with the issue of the quality of the warehousing system, the quality of the storage, that's cold storage or any other type of storage, the quality of the logistics, the quality of the packaging that gives delivery. Then you now look at also the product itself. The first part of a product is the issue of the input. If you get the input right, the harvest will be right. So the key issue that we should be focused on is what will be the quality of the primary input, where there's a lot of technology into.
It is not enough to define standard. It is more important for us to think about capacity building and institutionalization of these standards.
And I want to believe that is why we are here.
Now, 1 ounce gold price is $1,822.7 US. And that's all we can take on today on Commodities Market. I am Precious Desi. Don't forget to follow us up on all the social media platforms and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Agribusiness Weekend. For more information, call the numbers displayed on the screen. It's all about commodities. Thanks for watching and bye for now.